Welcome back, guys, to another UEFA Champions League Fantasy podcast where I'm going to show you the best Limitless team draft for UCL Fantasy Matchday 2. You know that I never recommend to use chip strategy on early stage, but on a deadline stream before Matchday 1, I told you that Matchday 2 was looking too seductive to use your chip strategy, and maybe you are pushed to use chip strategy on match day 2, just like me, because I had the dilemma to use Limitless or Wildcard, and I will decide between them on the deadline stream, which I will have, of course, before the Tuesday's game. Before we start team selection process, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel and like this video and help me to reach the subscribers milestone, which is on the screen right now. I have a huge hope that we can become 2,300 before the deadline stream of match day 2. And of course, what's the most important, please join in my league, in my private league in UCL Fantasy. And right now we are 241 members, and of course I have a hope that before the deadline stream we can become 300 members, and of course we can reach it together. So thank you guys for your support, and let's start with the team selection. You know that my team selection process is always beginning with the goalkeepers and defenders, but at this moment I want to make difference between Limitless and Wildcard, and it must be clear, because maybe some of you are playing UCL Fantasy for the first time, and it's so important to know the main differences between Limitless and Wildcard. So guys, under the Limitless card you have not budget restriction, and you can buy any player under any price, but you have to focus on a single match day, because after that your previous team will return for the next fixtures, and this team will have no importance and no influence for the other next fixtures. But under the wild card you have only 100 million, just like it was from the beginning before match day 1, and your team will remain for the next fixture. So it's so important to have a team selection process for the long perspective. So guys, right now we are having Limitless team draft, and I'm going to start with the goalkeepers. My goalkeepers are going to be David Raya from Arsenal and Jan Sommer from Inter Milan. Arsenal are playing against Olympiacos, and I think that there is a high percentage to have a clean sheet against Greek team, because Arsenal does not love to concede many goals, just like they did in Premier League. They had they have a clean sheet. They had a clean sheet against Athletic Bilbao in the first match day in a away game. So guys, in the Premier League, for example, Arsenal had just conceded only 2 goals. One of them against Liverpool, Szoboszlai free kick, and another one against Erling Haaland in the recent match day. So guys, Arsenal are playing very well in the Champions League also, and they love to have a clean sheet, and who else but David Raya, who is playing very well, will be in my team. Next one is Jan Sommer from Inter Milan, because of the fixture against Slavia Praga. I'm thinking that Inter Milan has the ability to have a clean sheet, just like they did in the first match against Ajax, and you know that even under the wild card, Jan Sommer and other Inter Milan defenders will be great asset, because you know that other 3 fixtures are too good for them. So my defensive line is going to start with Gabriel from Arsenal, for the same reason, just like I did. I picked David Raya. I have the same reason, but you have the question maybe why not Calafiori, why not Timber, and why I picked Gabriel or not Saliba. So guys, in the last fixture, you know that Timber is playing instead of Ben White, who was returned in the last fixture against Manchester City. So it's a high probability we may witness rotation in the case of Arsenal, and maybe Ben White is going to play against Olympiacos, and Timber will rest for the next fixture in FPL, which is against Newcastle. And I think this likewise against Calafiori, because also Lewis Kelly has wants to play, so he needs the time. And I guess if someone is going to rest and rotate from Arsenal defensive position, they will be Timber and Calafiori, while Gabriel will remain as the main starter. So no budget restriction, so no worries guys, Gabriel will remain in my team. He's also very good from the set pieces. Next one is going to be Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan, and also the same reason I just picked Jan Sommer. I have to pick Denzel Dumfries from Inter. Also, he's very good at ball recoveries, and in attacking position, he just scored. He already scored a goal in Serie A against Udinese, and you know how active he is in attack. So does a Dumfries against Slavia Praga will have the ability to score a goal or just have a clean sheet, which is very good in UCL Fantasy. Next one is Dan Hussein, and despite the price, which is 4.5, and maybe you are able to pick a more expensive player at this price at this moment under the Limitless card, but Dan Hussein and Real Madrid are going to play against Kairat in a away game, and you know that Carvajal is suspended. Also, we got Arnold, which is injured, and then Hussein will have to play, I think, against Kairat, and you know that he has the ability to make an assist or score a goal, just like he did already in La Liga, and I think that Real Madrid will have a clean sheet against Kairat, and who else but him is going to perform in my team under the Limitless card. Next one is Junatata, and also very good fixture for Bayern, which they are playing against Paphos in a away game. Of course, there is a probability that Bayern will have the rotation, but you know that Bayern will is just never rotate on an early stage in a Champions League. So I'm just thinking that it will be the starting lineup. The John Tata is going to perform, and I just guess Bayern has the ability to have a clean sheet against Paphos in a away game. Next one is Cuti Romero, who plays very well in the Premier League and also played very well in the Champions League and have a clean sheet against Villarreal. So yeah, in a away game against Bodo Glimt, the repeat of the last year Europa League semi-final. I just think that Cuti Romero has the ability to have a clean sheet. Also, he's very good at ball recoveries and clearances, and he's able to have good defensive points. I mean, you know that every free ball recovery equals 1 extra point. So Cuti Romero is able to have that extra points, and also Spurs play very well in defensive position in this tournament. In summary, they just played 6 matches, and they have 4 clean sheets from them. So guys, let's start with my midfield line. My midfield line is going to start with Vini Jr., who had great performance yesterday against Levante, scored a goal and made an assist, and I think he can become in a best mode. So guys, Vini Jr. played very well, and against Kairat, I don't see that he's going to be benched just like he did against Marcel, and I just thinking that it will be Rodrigo, Vini Jr. and Kylian Mbappe in front against Kairat, and they are going to perform. So Vini Jr. just maybe he returns his best shape back, and against Kairat, it's also the probability of the rotation. You have the question, I know, but we just we are just lucky because the first match of the match day 2 is going to be Kairat against Real Madrid on the early match. I mean, so we will have the ability to see the starting lineups, and also we will be able to see if Vini Jr., Mbappe, Hussein or others are going to be in the starting lineup. So it's a huge plus for us, and on the deadline stream it will be usable for me and for you, of course. Next is Olise from Bayern, and I just mentioned in the case of Jonathan, the match is going to be crucial for Bayern and also easy because I respect Paphos, but I just see at this moment that Bayern are heavily favorites, of course, and who else but Olisa from the midfield will be a crucial player, and also he has the ability to score goals. He is in a great shape. He just makes assists, and who else but Olise is able to perform very well. Next one is Bukayo Saka, who is also back from injury in a case of Arsenal, and Bukayo Saka will have to play against Olympiacos, and you know that Saka has the experience to play the Champions League football. He also is very contributive and plays very well, and also I was thinking that Arsenal are heavily favorites against Olympiacos, and who else but Bukayo Saka will be the key player for me to be in a starting lineup, and of course picked under the Limitless card. Next one is Cole Palmer, who is playing against Benfica, and the first match Benfica lost. Then Jose Mourinho is the new head coach in the Portuguese team, but I just thinking that Chelsea will have to win the first match because they just lost against Bayern, and not winning the first match right now, second match, sorry, against Benfica, it is going to be a huge problem for them. And who else but Cole Palmer must take all the responsibilities. And there is the question also that Palmer scored, but maybe he has the injury, because we will see in the Premier League if he performs in the Premier League, we will know that he is able to play against Benfica, or just maybe wait for the recent news. But right now, under the wild card, Cole Palmer is going to be huge plus for our team. Next is going to be Lamine Yamal, who is currently injured, but also predicted that he's going to be back against PSG. I know that against Nuno Mendes it is too difficult and hell probably to play, because we just witnessed how Nuno Mendes played against Lamine Yamal. But this time I'm thinking that Yamal will have the huge motivation, because Dembele won the Ballon d'Or, he deserved it, and Lamine Yamal will take that personally, I know, and he will start to shine against PSG. Of course, he's doubtful right now if he plays or not against PSG. If Lamine is going to be out, just like Dembele is against in the match Barcelona against PSG, we can replace him with Rafinha, and also we can replace him with Serge Gnabry from Bayern. But at this time, I just prefer not to have Jonathan Tah and just play with another defender, because I will empty the slot for Harry Kane. Of course, there are many good midfielders, just like Pedri. I just mentioned Rafinha, Adeyemi, and others. Of course, Kenan Yildiz. But this time, under the Limitless card, we have to pick, of course, the expensive players and plus the best players. So Lamine Yamal is in that caliber. But if he misses the match, we have so many alternatives, and of course I will tell you in the comment section. So guys, right now let's see the forward line. No surprises that under the Limitless card I'm going to pick those three forwards: Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, and Erling Haaland. Three of them are in a brilliant shape. They just destroy everyone and everything. So guys, they are playing very well under the Limitless card. I can't miss those three forwards. And even if you ask me to choose two out of three, it is impossible to choose, despite the fact Mbappe and Kane has better fixtures than Erling Haaland, because the match against Monaco will be crucial and also a little bit difficult than has Kane and Kylian Mbappe. But those three forwards are in the best shape at this moment. They also scored goals, doubles, braces. Maybe it will be hat tricks for them in the case of Mbappe and Harry Kane, because there's the match against Kairat and Paphos. So guys, under the Limitless card, it's practically inevitable to miss those three forwards and read them. So guys, Mbappe, Kane, and Haaland will remain in my team under the Limitless card. So this is going to be my team. If you have the question if Mbappe, Vini Jr., and Hussein, if they are going to play against Kairat, we have the ability. I just replied that we have the ability to see the starting lineups, because the first match on match day 2, it is going to be Kairat against Real Madrid. So before on the deadline stream, which I will have of course, there will be explanation. If they are going to play, I will pick them under the Limitless card. But if I use wildcard, practically I will use them in a wildcard case. So guys, this is going to be my team under the Limitless card. If you like it, you can comment down below, or would you change anything else in my team? Of course, I will hear from you, and I will hear your opinion, of course. So what about captaincy, and what about the balance? What is most important, guys, in UCL Fantasy? So we see the date. The 10 men are going to perform on a Tuesday's game. So and five players will replace them from Wednesday game. So guys, on the first day, the captaincy goes to Kylian Mbappe for me, or Harry Kane. I will decide between them. But on the next fixture, it is going to be possibly Bukayo Saka or Erling Haaland. So I will decide between them if I use Limitless or if you're going to use, of course. So guys, what is my plan right now for the next videos? I'm going to upload the best wildcard team draft and I will also explain. And this team draft will be all about the long perspective, because under the wildcard it's not only important to focus on a single match day, because it's all about long perspective. And next, it will be the best team selection, of course, which will be useful for both Limitless or Wildcard. Or also, if you are in a comfortable situation, you can use your 2 free transfers to improve your team. And from the best team selection, you can choose one of the players from my team, no problem about it. And what's the most important, I will have the deadline stream before Tuesday's game, and we can explain and we can talk about, just switch our ideas about match day 2 and our views. And on that match day I will decide what kind of chip I want to use, Limitless or Wildcard. And Real Madrid starting lineup will have the huge influence, and of course injuries. So guys, if not in an injury situation, I think that Limitless team is going to be too good for you and for me, of course, for the next fixture. Thank you guys for your support. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and help me to reach my milestone. And I have a huge hope to be 2,300 before the deadline stream. Well, of course, it's important to join in my private league. We are right now 241 members, and we can become 300 members before the deadline stream. Thank you guys. Your support is always appreciated. Goodbye. See you later.